So last night, as you all know, and I've probably seen, if you didn't watch it last night, you probably watched it this morning, I had a little bit of a rant about Andre Onana and how he is killing this team. How much longer can we go on about Andre Onana? From our personal own opinions, though, right now, we know what he is, we know what he creates, and we know the problems he is at Manchester United right now. Sadly, for us, the man we want to back is Ruben Amorim, and it is all on him now, and the pressure is on him in this situation that he has been dumped in with. Both the Glazers and Sir Jim Radcliffe, Omar Barada, everybody who is part of the ownership model was in that stadium last night watching in on what Ruben Amorim has to cook with and has to deal with in this team right now. And it isn't a lot, but there are some good players in this side to work from. And last night's positives were completely overshadowed again by one man. And it's up to Ruben Amorim now to act on this. I woke up this morning absolutely knackered from yesterday. Obviously, a draining night of football last night for all Manchester United fans. I'm sure Ruben Amorim and a lot of the players also. I was reading last night what Samuel Luckhurst said about the players not even really consoling Andre Onana. It was like some of the players were reluctant to go up to Andre Onana and just patted him on the back. Like, seriously, I don't even need to tell you what their minds were saying in that moment. I'm sure you've been there before in some form or some level when you feel like you have done your job and somebody else has let you down and you're the one who is going to take the flat for it as an overall team. When there is one bad egg in a side, it affects everybody else's morale. And unfortunately, as nice as the guy is, there is a situation that needs dealing with by Ruben Amorim right now. I'm going to go into his quotes on this as well. I have all the other news going around regarding Delap, regarding Diblin, Rasmus Hojlund, Jadon Sancho. We have a lot to get through this morning, so I want to crack on with this. Let's get through the quotes first of all from last night and what Ruben Amorim said, because that's where I want to start today. Because let's switch focus from the issue that is Andre Onana and how Ruben deals with it. I think it's quite straightforward, isn't it? Get your comments in the comment section, everybody. Let me know what you think about this as well. And obviously there are still a lot of people watching my video from last night and my initial rant. I've not calmed down. I've not fought back and thought I said anything wrong in that last night, in my rant and what I've said about Andre Onana in particular. I do believe he is fully destroying this team. I do. And it sounds bad that we're going in on a player. I don't want to. But let's be honest, these players are paid a lot of money and have a lot of responsibility. And I just feel sorry for the rest of the team. I really do. I listened to Joshua Zirkzee's interview last night after the game. When you go on the pitch, you have to give everything. You have to perform. You have to perform when you're on that pitch. Again, I felt sorry for the players that did and then were let down by others. And it isn't just Andre Onana in this side. We know, and we'll talk about Rasmus Hojlund in a bit and the situation with his transfer possibly this summer as well. Yes, that is being talked about. I don't know who would buy him right now because he's the worst player that I've seen in that striker position in Manchester United's history. I said it last night. I would rather have Wout Weghorst than Rasmus Hojlund in this team. So waking up this morning, let's get round to it. Enough of the ranting. I wake up this morning and again, like looking at all of the tweets, the first one I really read last night from last night, but he's put it out this morning, was Simon Stone's report from the BBC. And literally the header of the tweet and then his link to his article on the game last night. Again, and it's simple one line. And what he says in that line was, again, last night it was all about Andre Onana. It's always about Andre Onana. Take him out of that. Take him out of the limelight. Please, Ruben Amorim, it is now time to start making the decision and start taking this, protecting Andre Onana, because he isn't going to get any better by playing games. We can see this. He needs to learn that he cannot keep making these mistakes and costing the team dearly, and then everybody else having to do these awkward interviews afterwards. It's like Lenny Yoro last night, his first goal for Manchester United. Joshua Zirkzee last night, both doing interviews. Should be upbeat and should be absolutely buzzing with winning that game and coming back from an Andre Onana mistake. Actually having the character to come back and win that game in a hostile environment, in a tough game in which everybody said United would struggle with. Our biggest game of the season. These players showed character last night. These players actually dug down and ignored the pressure and dealt with it like a proper Manchester United side. We created chances. We were very positive. And Lenny Yoro gets his first goal for Manchester United. The youngest player to ever score in Europe for Manchester United, defender. youngest ever defender, I need to add that, which is amazing, brilliant. He's been excellent recently. And Joshua Zirkzee off the bench, another signing, like I said from last night, United's recruitment from the summer, coming to the fore and really showing what Manchester United can do under Ruben Amorim. And that's what I wanted to take from last night. But like Simon Stone says, you cannot even really talk about it. You can't talk about the good because of one man. And again, it's Andre Onana. So, Ruben Amorim last night, when talking about this, and obviously the obvious question was asked, wasn't it? The obvious question was there from Ruben, and he said this when speaking about Onana. There's nothing I can say that will help him in this moment. Most important thing is to be natural, and when the time comes, I will choose the best 11 to play, but I am confident in Andre Onana. Now, for me, this is Ruben Amorim just saying the necessary stuff. Ruben, just to make this clear, is not going to come out and absolutely slaughter Andre Onana. He's not going to do it. So anybody who's jumping on board thinking that this is Ruben Amorim actually backing that performance last night, you really are mistaken. You really are. The problem you've got with this is, obviously, Ruben talks about the results. Ruben talks about winning games. And when you've got one man in particular that's just throwing it away, and it's like the stats last night, they came up again, like no goalkeeper since the start of last season has had as many errors leading to goals in all competitions than Andre Onana. He's still not been here 2 years, and he's already 3 behind 12 years of David De Gea in errors leading to goals. And was a lot of people, I was one of them at the time, who said that David De Gea had to go. He was making too many mistakes, and he did cost us in games, David De Gea. I'm not going to hide away from that. But I tell you what, one thing he didn't do was palm the ball out into danger into the central areas every single time, was miss crosses, completely flapping at the ball and missing it every single time. Like, this isn't something last night that we can say is a one-off. This is a regular occurrence with crosses and dealing with shots and palming shots away. Ruben Amorim right now, I think, is in a really difficult position because of them people sat in the stands. Let's forget about Onana. Let's forget about the situation, the mistakes and everything like that. What this was caused by was them men sat in the stands. And I'm not just going to say, like most people think I'm probably going to say right now, this is all the Glazers under their recruitment. No, it's not. Because if you'd have brought in Ruben Amorim, Sir Jim Radcliffe, if you'd have brought him in the summer, if you'd have made that cutthroat decision that you said you was going to come in and make from the start in last summer in sacking Erik ten Hag, then we might have had a different scenario right now. We might have gone into this window with different targets. And that sounds really bad because I'm praising the players that we did bring in the summer right now. And they're the ones that I'm really behind, because Mazraoui last night, outstanding. Outstanding. Zirkzee doing what he did. Yes, Agate's going through a bad patch right now, but still not a bad player. Delap's been our player of the season near enough behind Bruno Fernandes for consistency. The recruitment this summer has been good, but I just think it would have been different. And we would have bought players in a different area. And what we have been left with, and what Ruben has been left with, and I fear for Ruben Amorim because the pressure is going to be on him right now. It really is, because I know that Andre Onana is a likeable guy within Manchester United changing room. He is an absolute, what's the right word? He's a character. We've said this before. Look, whichever way you look at it, it's the old famous line, isn't it? Onana's mouth is cash. Onana's mouth. I've said the quote completely wrong. I've said it wrong. You know the line I've said. I had it all lined up this morning. I forgot what it was. I was that confused after watching the highlights back from before from Onana. It's the old Top Gun line, isn't it? His mouth is... someone will say me the line in a minute anyway. I got it completely wrong. But you know what I mean. He's just running his mouth. He's doing all the talking and he's not doing the walking, basically. And that's Andre Onana. Yeah, that's it. I've just got it here in front of me right now, actually. Thank you, Kaz, for bailing me out on that one. Cashing checks his body can't keep. Yes, that's basically it. His mouth is doing it. His mouth is writing checks his body can't cash, basically, is what Andre Onana is doing. He's a character. He's an absolute character. Put all that aside, and then there's only one man that can change anything right now, and that's Ruben Amorim. And I feel sorry for him that he's going to have to deal with this, but he has made big decisions already. And it would be completely out of character for Ruben Amorim all of a sudden to not make this crucial decision. He's got no excuse. There is no injuries behind the scenes anymore. He said himself he has 3 top goalkeepers. Bayindir is fit and can play. Tom Heaton is fit and can play. He has an option. And now I think that option has to come out. He has to pick Bayindir this weekend and against Olympic Lyon next week as well. He has to start making these calls now, Ruben Amorim. It's not fair on the rest of the team. Everybody else in this squad and their position is up for grabs through performances. We've now seen Casemiro start to step ahead of the likes of Manuel Ugarte all of a sudden. We've got Bayindir there who can step ahead of Andre Onana. We're seeing, for some reason, Rasmus Hojlund start ahead of Joshua Zirkzee. Now I fully expect Zirkzee to start the game this weekend. And I think he should be starting the game next week against Lyon as well. These are the things that have been happening all the way through this season. And when players don't perform, Ruben is usually there and he's ready to make that call to out that player. But the problem you've got is, right now, it's like he has backed him so much in the public eye, in the media, when answering questions. And I think again, it's an impossible position for him because Onana has probably worked hard in training. He's probably done everything that Ruben's asked of him to do. But when it comes down to results and it comes down to his job, Andre Onana will cost Ruben Amorim his job. Because, like Ruben said, results are everything right now. I'm going to give everyone their chance because last night was a bit frenetic. So I'm going to give everyone a chance to have their say on Onana. Get your comments in the comment section, everybody. Let's get through as many as we possibly can. Straight off the bat, we have a couple of super chats to deal with as well. Welcome back to the Members Club, Jordan Hall. Love that, buddy. Andy Atherton, welcome back to the chat, mate. Not seen you for a while. Hope you're doing good, buddy. Morning, Adam. I loved your raw emotion in last night's video. I'm worried Ruben will start losing fan support if he continues picking Onana. On that in a minute, actually. And then Sully Jr. Welcome, Sully. Love that, mate. Amorim is stubborn and it will be his downfall. Sully, thank you for that. On them two there straight away, and what Andy says there, the fans will start turning on him. The fans have already started turning on him. Look, I speak to a lot of people. I speak to many people directly messaging me. I had a load of stick for having a go at what Onana did with Nemanja Matic. And I put a short video out on Nemanja Matic's comments about Andre Onana and how Andre Onana really has just been humiliated. And I had loads of people messaging me saying, why don't you back your own players? It would be nice just to see you actually back with your own players. No, I'm past that. I know who is working for Manchester United. The only person I care about is Ruben Amorim. And that's the hard bit. Like Andy's just said in the comment there, and this is the point I want to get to, it's now you've got fans questioning Amorim when we can see all of the good. I just hope that he makes the right call now for his own sake. He needs to make the call that's necessary, which is dropping Andre Onana for Bayindir. Even Tom Heaton, he's not going to bring Tom Heaton in, I know that, but I still think Tom Heaton's a better goalkeeper and will do Manchester United, I think do Man United proud if he comes in. He'll do a lot better than what Andre Onana is doing anyway. And this is it. This is the fans now turning on Ruben and asking the question when it's not. I mean, it is fair, and you can ask him that question. He's been in long enough now, and Onana has cost him several games already. You can see what he is. Obviously, he's had the injuries in front of him, and now we will see. And the full focus now is fully on Newcastle and Bayindir starting the game. And you know what? It's not so much that. I think Ruben Amorim has to drop Andre Onana completely. He has to be out of the side. I'm sorry. He's done it with bigger players in this team. He's done it with Casemiro and sat him in the wilderness and just sat him on the bench for game after game after game until he earned his way in. Andre Onana is doing nothing to help this system at all. He has to be treated like the rest of the outfield players for me. And that's the problem that he's got right now because, obviously, everyone's going to be looking at it and looking what he does. And I don't know. I don't know what he's going to do. I'm confident that Ruben will know what he has to and what decision he has to make, but there is part of me strangely worrying about Onana just because Ruben wants to make a point that he's going to start him, and I hope stubbornness doesn't creep into his demeanour and how he's selecting his sides, Ruben Amorim, right now, because fans are going to turn against him because of Andre Onana, and he needs to realise this, and the backlash is going to come from the media, and you've seen it with the media last night. The media are piling in on Ruben Amorim over Andre Onana right now. The best thing Amorim can do is take Onana out of the limelight completely. And that, I think, is the right call and the ultimate call at the end of the day that's going to keep everybody happy. And you know what? It protects Andre Onana as well. MA, welcome to the Members Club, gifted by Jordan Hall. Andrew says, Nigel, at his best, De Gea was probably one of the best goalkeepers in the world, but his last couple of years under United were poor. Yeah, I think they were poor. I do believe that De Gea was on the decline. We picked the wrong goalkeeper. That's it. The decision that was made on Andre Onana was really concerning. And he's a big worry now going forward because he's only 2 years in. I don't know who's going to buy a goalkeeper like Andre Onana. He's going to have to be Man United's number 2 and come in certain games. We need a new goalkeeper. Or we just use Bayindir for the rest of this season, see how he does, and then make a decision on him in the summer. All I'm hearing this week is Andre Onana running his mouth and putting United in it. Even Shirky last night when he came out of his comment. And people trying to say that this isn't going to affect and it's been blown up out of all proportion. Again, something else I don't agree with Ruben Amorim. Them comments from Andre Onana in the week, he tried to push them under the carpet. And everybody, and I've seen the response from the media, everybody knew that Nemanja Matic had listened to the whole quote. Everybody knew that he understood what Andre Onana was saying. And Andre Onana came back and said, at least I've won trophies with this club, unlike some people. And Ruben Amorim didn't touch on that. So he is defending his man, which is admirable. And obviously you'd expect him to do that. But all I'm seeing this week is Onana running his mouth, putting Manchester United in the limelight for the wrong reason. Shirky having a goal last night in his post-match interview. Matic saying what he said. He's just dragging us down. And then I'm hearing stories on the back of that Manchester United have given Altay Bayindir permission to leave Manchester United this summer. No, I don't understand that. I get that things can happen in training and players can perform in training, but coaches who solely rely on players and what they do in training are going to be, they're going to be making a rod for their own back, basically. They're going to be digging themselves their own hole because realistically, it comes down to handling pressure. There is no pressure on the training ground. You're up against your teammates. It's all laughing and joking. Yeah, there may be intense training sessions and it may get serious at times, but if you can't do it on the pitch when it counts, then that's the moments that should be judged, I feel, not what you're doing on the training ground. Training ground moments are great. Well done for putting the extra effort in. But if you can't mentally handle being in that shirt in a game day moment, then you don't belong at Manchester United. Bayindir hasn't been given a chance. I think them stories going around that Bayindir could leave this summer, and I've talked about it. I've talked about both Bayindir and Onana but leaving Manchester United. If Onana can go to the Saudi Pro League, Manchester United need to be running down to whichever offices, like Forrest Gump, as fast as him, to whichever offices they're in, to get that meeting, to get him done and negotiations finalised to have him off to Saudi Arabia. That's what needs to happen. It will be the best thing for this football club. But right now, the best thing is getting Bayindir in that goal and giving these defenders a little bit more confidence. It's criminal what he did. I've seen everybody's reaction. Everybody's saying exactly the same thing. Even people that have backed him and said it's too much to be going in. Everyone has gone in on Andre Onana last night. And I think Ruben is protecting him right now. In-game management lacking in this Man United team. Onana cannot be solely blamed for the second goal. Casemiro gave the ball away and Lyon on the counter. I said this in terms of Amorim. Look, sometimes you need your moments and you need your players to do the right thing. Andre Onana didn't do it on them 2 moments in the game and he cost us. Can the game management be any better? Yes, it can. Ruben Amorim has come out on that and talked about what he likes about his team, about going for that third goal. Maybe we could have actually managed the game a little bit better. Maybe we could have kept the ball a bit more. But I love the character in this team and I love the fact that they went for the third goal. Yeah. What you're looking at there is, for me, that's a manager there that you could probably say that in general, but not after a game like that. Not after a game that's so important, Ruben. And that's where I think he's going to learn as well. Like, that comment is fine. That's great. But really, what you are supposed to be saying is we probably could have managed that better. But hindsight's a great thing. You just don't know in these moments what's going to happen. And ultimately, whichever way you look at it, we got it wrong on the pitch and Ruben got it wrong off the pitch last night. I don't believe we should have substituted Harry Maguire. I thought he could have lasted another 10 minutes. In that moment, you need someone who is well tuned in with the game. I don't even know what Lindelof did. He looked a million miles off it when he came on the pitch. And he was in that melee that cost us that goal. So there are other moments and other things that cost us, not just Andre Onana in that game. It really is. But I do fear in what Ruben's going to do next. I really do. And that's what needs to be, I think, the focus now. Not Andre Onana. We know what he is, and we've listened to what everyone said. We just talked about it then this morning for the first 20 minutes. It's time for Ruben to move past it now, and it's up to him. There's only one man that can change it, and the fans will be looking at not Andre Onana, Ruben Amorim. That's what will be happening. Right, we need to move on. Please keep the comments coming in about Onana and everything else from last night as well. Please talk about anything you want to bring up, any other player. We do need to talk about Rasmus Hojlund as well, because last night there were a lot of reports coming about the possibility of Rasmus Hojlund going to Juventus as well. Now, Rasmus Hojlund last night, honestly, I don't know what's worse, only because Andre Onana is in the headlines and he's obviously the one that cost United last night. Rasmus Hojlund is just as culpable for his performance last night. If you're not scoring goals, every mistake looks worse. And yes, the mistakes are bad from Onana, but the fact that we don't score goals and our forward line cannot score, it took a Joshua Zirkzee off the bench. It took a Lenny Yoro to score a goal for Manchester United last night. The 3 games back after international break, none of our starting players have scored. None of them. Our forwards are absolutely shocking. None of our forwards are scoring goals. Zirkzee, credit to him last night, and we should have been celebrating his moment, shouldn't we? But Rasmus Hojlund, I feel now, I don't know how Manchester United sell him. I don't think we can, personally. But the report going around is that this is a feasible deal. There is a chance that we could actually sell Rasmus Hojlund this summer. Again, the details are not there. There has been exploratory talks between Juventus and Manchester United on Rasmus Hojlund, and he could leave this summer. I don't know how that happened. I'll say it again. The fees and the money that's involved with Rasmus Hojlund are scary, and I don't think United can make a profit on PSR through selling Rasmus Hojlund. I don't think it's feasible. And I'm not sure if this story is just a little bit of smoke, but it was doing the rounds yesterday, and it was before the game. And then we seen the performance from Rasmus Hojlund last night, and it proved the point again. I don't think this is doable, because who in their right mind is going to buy Rasmus Hojlund? I said it last night. The issue in Manchester United's game last night and the issue on that pitch last night wasn't so much on the pitch, because we can look at Andre Onana, we can look at Rasmus Hojlund and look at the history before they actually came into Manchester United. It wasn't great. So it was, again, the people sat in the director's box, the owners of this football club. They're the ones to blame for last night, because they're the ones that sanctioned the bids. They're the ones that sanctioned the transfers for both Andre Onana and Rasmus Hojlund to Manchester United. It's the Glazers, it's the Woodwards, it's the Murtos, it's the Arnolds, it's everybody else that was running this football club. The recruitment side of our team and our club is what was wrong last night. Who in their right mind thought that there was a player there, 19, who'd scored 9 goals in Serie A, was worth 75 million? Who in their right mind who went out into the transfer market and thought, you know what, let's not renew David De Gea's contract for a year. Let's not just trigger that one more year and just deal with him and go and spend the money where we really needed it. Who in their right mind makes that decision? Who thinks that getting rid of De Gea, which isn't going to cost you much more, and bringing Andre Onana in for that season and spending 45 million is the right move? Who is making them decisions? Honestly, you have to look at what happened behind the scenes and up in the director's box as to why Manchester United are failing right now. The number 9, the number 1, again, every single game. We don't score goals, we're scrutinising that. If the defence don't have absolute blinders, and this is the problem I've got most of all out of everything that happened last night, it's the players that are being thrown under the bus by underperforming teammates. It's doing my head in. And the comments from Samuel Lucas last night pretty much echo what I'm thinking and what I'm saying right now, but just in a different way. The fact that Andre Onana wasn't even really consoled by his teammates last night on the pitch tells you everything. The frustrations. This defence is brilliant at the moment. And I keep saying it. It's outstanding. It really is holding its own. But when you've got a goalkeeper behind you and a striker in front of you that are performing the way they are, everything is being scrutinised, and it's going to come down to a point where everyone else is having to make excuses for these players. And again, when players are asked in interviews about their performance, what can they say? Really, what they want to say is, I've done my bit. I've done my job, but how many times can I keep saying that because the rest of the team keep failing us? And it's not the rest of the team. Obviously, it's just a few. Because I'm looking at Bruno Fernandes running up and down that pitch. I'm looking at Xerxes' moment, Lenny Yoro's moment, Mazraoui, Delap throughout this season as well. He's been there and looked on in anguish as Andre Onana has dropped clangers. We're all looking up the pitch when Rasmus Hojlund is fluffing his lines. It wasn't even a kick, never mind a shot last night, that chance in the first half. That has to go in. They're the moments that go in. He doesn't get into the box. Ruben Amorim, in answering questions about Rasmus Hojlund, all he could say last night was he made a few runs. He made lots of runs which got us up the pitch in certain moments. 75 million for someone who just makes some runs and gets us up the pitch. This is what Ruben's dealing with. He's having to fan off questions about ineptitude and shit players constantly, all of the time. And you know what? Credit to him on this. But there are two players sat on that bench that can come in and change Manchester United. And we probably lose to Newcastle because our record there is bad anyway. And you know what? There's part of me that thinks, you know what? Maybe we keep Andre Onana in goal for the Newcastle game and don't throw Bayindir into the Lions' den. Why don't we play Bayindir in the most important game of the season? Why don't we play Rasmus again against Newcastle this weekend and put Xerxes on from the starting lineup against Olympic Lyon next Thursday? That's what I actually want to see. These players created this mess. I don't think they deserve to be in that second leg. None of them deserve to start. And you could argue the point about Garnacho as well in all of this. He's not performing. His decision-making on the break last night. Wow, that moment in the second half. And this is how bad Andre Onana is and how bad Rasmus Hojlund is. We're forgetting about absolute moments like that when Garnacho should be absolutely lambasted and absolutely taken apart for his decision-making. But that's been forgotten about because there's something worse than that. Hojlund off, Garnacho off, couldn't do anything. Xerxes comes on, Mainu comes on into them forward-thinking roles. Mount comes on, changes the game completely. Manchester United look like a different animal altogether. It's there for Ruben to deal with. It's there for Ruben Amorim now to make the call, I feel. Get a few more chats in. Super chat in from Ross. Thank you, mate. I don't understand how Heaton and Bayindir leaving are almost guarantees and Onana stays due to the lack of options. I'd be happier with Bayindir and Vitek next season. Exactly with your perfect comment there. Thank you for that, Roz. Andy Atherton, welcome back to the membership club, mate. Thank you for that renewal. Smash the like button, guys. Best community on YouTube. I'm going to come to a load of your comments in a moment, everybody, as well. Andy again with another super chat. I agree, it's not just Onana. I'm worried about Rasmus and Garnacho's form. Amorim cannot afford to carry passengers whilst rebuilding the side. Luckily for us with Ruben Amorim, he is going to get backed. And being backed is staying in a job, basically, right now. We can talk about the money that's going to be spent in the summer. Someone tell me last night that Liam Delap isn't putting one of them chances away, or we're getting more from Liam Delap in that game. Tell me that wouldn't have been a difference last night. Now, Manchester United on Liam Delap, just to break into other news as well, while we're talking about last night. Fabrizio Romano has come out with an update on Liam Delap as well. So this is your up-to-date information on him. He has actually, his agents have spoken directly to Manchester United, and Manchester United have contacted Ipswich about the triggering of the release clause and what the price is going to be. So we know that it's 30 million. United have contacted Ipswich and have contacted Delap's agents. So Manchester United, before anybody thinks that this is not a true story or anything else, and you're not happy with it, it's genuine, it's real. Liam Delap is a Manchester United top target this summer. United are all in for Liam Delap. That just pretty much cements that. So you know, going forward, United, well, we need a striker. I mean, last night we said about Rasmus Hojlund. I don't see how we get rid of him, but he's not a starter in the side. He is where Joshua Xerxes is last night, honestly, Joshua Xerxes showed to me what he really is. He's a player that can come on off the bench and take his moment and impact games. And he's a player that could probably work his way into the side by doing that. And I think he is willing to do that. I would keep Joshua Zirkzee. He is now outperforming Rasmus Hojlund. And Joshua Zirkzee has turned his career around at Manchester United tenfold. He really has. I love his attitude. I love what he does. He carries the ball. I think I said it in my rant last night, actually. Joshua Zirkzee came on and in 10 minutes he showed Rasmus Hojlund how to shoot, how to move, how to run with the ball, how to pass the ball, what runs to make, where to be. Every single basic of a forward player was done last night by Joshua Zirkzee, and he's not even a number 9. Joshua Zirkzee showed an actual number 9 where to be and how to play, and that's not actually his position. And we spent 75 million on Rasmus Hojlund. 75 million quid on a guy that cannot play the position. He needs to go away and learn. And again, and this is the argument with everyone, we just talk about Delap then. So what we're saying here is basically Delap's going to come in and Rasmus going to learn nothing. So in a way, if United do go for Delap, what does that tell you about what they think about Rasmus Hojlund? Do they think he can develop even more? Or are we actually looking down the line, a year down the line, that Manchester United are going to be moving Rasmus Hojlund on if Delap comes in? This is how I look at it right now. It's confusing, obviously, because we're looking at possibly Manchester United trying to make the most out of Rasmus Hojlund by bringing an experienced striker in like Osimhen, and he would do better. And Osimhen obviously would give us that bit of experience in our side that we need right now. But I think more damningly for Rasmus Hojlund is Delap coming in is pushing Rasmus out completely. Because Delap's going to hold that position on his own. He's young enough to play week in, week out. And if we are going in for Delap, then Rasmus Hojlund days are numbered. They really are. They really are numbered. So realistically, what we've got to look at here is that a Delap signing is pretty much ending. It's pretty much ending Rasmus Hojlund for me. If, for instance, just on the Delap situation, just to add a little bit more from what Romano is saying as well regarding the bids. So the release clause is 30 million. So if Chelsea come in and Manchester United come in, then obviously the bids would start to go up. So if Chelsea bid 30 million, United might have to go higher. It starts at 30 million, so the bid could go higher because Chelsea and United are both in. So that's the situation with it. Ruben Amorim talking last night about Leny Yoro. He's a top player. Trust me, he's really good. You don't hear him saying that about other players, do you? There are players in this side. He's confident. He's improving physicality. He's filling out as well. Ruben's saying all of these things last night, and this is the difference. This is the difference about what Ruben is saying about some players and talking about other players. You can see it. When he talks about Garnacho, he talks about what he has to learn. When he talks about Rasmus Hojlund, he talks about what he can do better. When he talks about Leny Yoro, it's a top player. It's a top player. And that really is the difference, I think, in what Ruben sees. Because we have got good players. We have got great players in this side. And last night, I thought they were let down by the shit in this Man United side. And it's not fair on them. And that's probably the worst thing to come from last night. Loan Hojlund to raise his value, then sell him, says Antiel. Maybe. We will see. Again, no matter what I think of Rasmus Hojlund and how poor he actually is, I do believe that we are going to struggle to sell him still. I just don't see how United do it. I would be absolutely amazed if we managed to sell Rasmus Hojlund this summer. I just don't see anyone wanting to buy him. I don't. I really, really don't. And when you look at what Manchester United did recruitment-wise, and I do want to obviously blame the ownership in this and what they did, but I can't take away the fact that we recruited well in the summer. And Leny Yoro really is a prime example of proper recruitment. Spending that extra bit of money on a younger player who has always, since he's been playing in the first team for Lille, has been a target for big clubs. Manchester United spending that extra money, that gives me confidence in what this recruitment team is going to do in the summer. They looked at the player there and spent a lot more on him to get him in ahead of Real Madrid because they seen what he's got. And in the first season, we've seen him come in, got injured, bit shaky, good in parts, learning through adversity, getting better each game, and then bang, we're at where we are now. And Leny Yoro all of a sudden looks like an absolute diamond. He looks absolutely brilliant. And that, I think, is what we've got to look at. And when you look at Delap and the recruitment of him and what Manchester United see, you've got to start looking at this again and using the examples of Onana and Rasmus Hojlund as the difference between what the recruitment is going to be like. They see something in Delap. They've seen something in Lyon. We're talking about experience. Won't be able to handle being a Manchester United player and a 22-year-old coming in. Well, what about someone who's 19, who has just been Manchester United's record signing under Ineos, absolutely tearing it apart in Manchester United's first team right now in Lyon? How about the pressure on a 19-year-old at centre-back with that goalkeeper behind you and the way he's performing? And keeping players out of this side. Keeping players like Maguire out of this side. Full internationals in Maguire and Lindelof out of this side. I know that's not hard with Lindelof's case, but this is what you've got to say. The recruitment of Delap is an example that... Yoro is an example that needs to be used in this scenario, I think, because it's not about the experience factor, I don't think. It's about the recruitment and looking into these players to see if they have got the minerals and what it takes to be a United player. All of a sudden, we're looking at a teenager in Lyon who looks like a mainstay. We're looking at what Jadon Sancho did when he came in. Right now, I'm looking at this and I'm going, Leacher is struggling to get back into this side. Because I look at Jadon Sancho, I look at Lyon, I look at Nusa Mazraoui as my back three. That would be, on form, my back three right now. And what Ruben said about Lyon is proof that he does have standards. And Lyon is going to start every single game. And he's in. He's done. Recruitment done. 115 grand a week. And everyone was bitching and moaning about it in the summer. But Lyon right now is worth all of that money. He really is. He is going to be an absolute baller, this kid. He's getting better and better and better. And I'm really looking forward to this part of Manchester United and what is going to happen going forward. It really is exciting to think about what is coming. It's hard to look at it now because of all of the shit going on and what we've just spoken about with United failing in games and Andre Onana ruining our moments in games, Rasmus Hojlund not being able to score, Garnacho's decision-making. Take out and change 3 or 4 players in this team and United are balling. United are moving. I'm telling you right now, you can see the improvement under Ruben Amorim. I just think he's got a difficult decision to make because of who he is. And what he said about these players, about backing them. I think he'll drop Onana though, personally. And I think Xerxes comes in. I think he sees it as we do. We just need... We could have done with being a bit closer to the end of the season. So these decisions didn't need to be made. Because I think in the summer, United will have a new goalkeeper. But for the sake of the Europa League, honestly, do you know what? I don't want to throw the Premier League away. But I seen the results last night in the Europa League. I seen Bilbao, who I've bigged up, only get a 0-0 draw against 10 men of Rangers. I seen Bodo Glimt beat Lazio, who were the favourites, 2-0. And we beat Bodo Glimt. We walked past Bodo Glimt in one of Ruben's first games. We carved them open. Yeah, we were a bit suspect at the back, but look at us now under Ruben Amorim. I looked at that. I looked at Lyon. They were nothing special. United should be favourites for this Europa League. And Bayende should play every single game in the Europa League all the way through. Play Onana in the league. Honestly. Let him finish off the season that he started. And let everybody see how bad he really is. Because that, I think, is what needs to happen. There is a chance for Ruben to salvage this season. What's been done before has been done by the other players, like Onana, all season in the Premier League. Let him finish off his season in the Premier League. And let Bayende start in goal. Let Xerxes start playing more games than Rasmus Hojlund. Let him start being the focal point of this attack. Give other players a chance. That's what I say going into the rest of this season. Gary says, I'd rather have Big Scotty Mac back as a number 9 for us at this point. At least he could find the net and had fire in his soul for playing for United. True. Barman says, for Newcastle, I hope to use it as getting some game time for some of our squad for the matches and fitness. Here's a question for you all in the chat. Would you be using the Premier League now, just after what I just said there? Because I'm not convinced by anybody. Frankfurt 1-1 with Spurs. We can beat Frankfurt. We can beat Spurs. I don't care. That game there, for me, didn't really worry me too much. Bodo Glimt beating Lazio. Everybody's beatable. And in one-off games, I can see United beating any one of these teams. We'll beat Lyon. I'm convinced we'll beat Lyon at Old Trafford. And then like really, really not impressed with Bilbao against Rangers. Rangers are poor. They are a very, very poor side. And I think Bilbao will beat them in the second leg. I'm sure they will. But 0-0 against 10 men. That says to me that you've got a chance here, United. We have got players coming to form right now at the best part of the season. I'd get them into this Europa League squad instantly, like that, and build it around it. We could even have Ahmad back in this side for the semi-final. That's how important this is now. Ahmad will be back in time for the game against Bilbao. I'm still convinced it's going to be Bilbao. But keep your comments coming in on this as well. Would you just use the Premier League to tune up for the Europa League and salvage this season? Because I really think last night showed in all of them games in the quarterfinals that United can be in the Champions League next season. I think it really did show that we can win this competition. If you take Onana out of that side, United win that game 2-0 last night. I'm convinced of it. If you had Joshua Zirkzee in from the start, or even if you had Ahmad, you are winning that game comfortably last night. And these are all things that can happen. This is not just hearsay, and this is not hindsight over talking right now. This is actual options for Ruben Amorim going forward. Zirkzee can play. Ahmad will be back. You've got a better keeper than Onana. Changing these little things will get us through this season. Will win us that Europa League. I'm convinced of it. And then into the summer, bang, there you go. You start making the changes that are necessary. That's important. Hojlund, Garnacho, and Onana all need to be sold. They don't suit United. Rasmus needs to move on for his own career. Garnacho is too selfish with no end product. Onana slows the game too much and crap. Summing him up quite well there, actually. Let's get a few more comments in. MB, Onana is as bad as he is. I'm sorry, but what he said didn't warrant the outburst from Matic. It wasn't an outburst from Matic, mate. It did warrant it as well. And Onana needed putting back in his place. I'm completely with Matic on this. I disagree, MB, completely, mate, with you there. I get what you're trying to say. Looking at Lyon yesterday, they are not on United's level. The standards presently are not United's levels. You've just pretty much contradicted yourself there, mate, in that comment. Matic pretty much proved that what Onana said and what Matic said about him being statistically one of the worst goalkeepers in Manchester United's history. He needs to be careful in what he's saying. You just said there yourself, mate, that Lyon are not on United's level. They are on United's level because of Andre Onana. So, really, you pretty much just made the point there for us, mate. What he said cost United because ultimately, in the end, Lyon aren't as good as Man United. We knew that. And we now know that from last night. But the only reason we're going into this game level next week is because of Andre Onana. That is it. And he does need to be put in his place. And everybody going in on him needs to go in on him. Shut up. Stop talking absolute crap. He's talking the talk that he cannot walk. He clearly is ahead of himself, this guy. And he needs taken away. And you know what? We know what he is. We know what Onana is. And there's only one man that can stop this now, and that's Ruben. He needs to make the call. Make the call now and change everything. Simple as. Simple as. Yes. Anyway, I want to finish. I don't want to finish. We've got a bit to go on yet, actually. We have got the Jadon Sancho. God, yeah. So last night, the Daily Mail, just to upset people even more, pretty much said and confirmed that Jadon Sancho will be coming back to Manchester United. Fucking jeez, honestly. That man, what can we do to get rid of Jadon Sancho? Honestly, that from the Daily Mail last night was concerning. That it looks pretty much set in stone that Chelsea will pay $5 million and send Jadon Sancho back to Manchester United. That news came out last night before the game. Also, before last night's game, just to keep you fully updated with all of the news going on, last night, Manchester United were confirmed as having talks with PSG over Umar Kamara. Obviously, we talked about this the other day in the PSG raid video. Manchester United are now actually fully into negotiations for Umar Kamara, the 17-year-old forward, who is absolutely lit academy level up at PSG. Again, another player that probably isn't going to feature straight away for United, and not too much to get excited about, but groundwork being done with good players coming through. And let's be honest, right now, Manchester United, in what we're doing with the players that are coming in to this football club and the younger players coming in, they're all starting to really shine. And I think proof is there in the fact that we've got Aiden Heaven taking his chance at 18. You're all the same at 18, going on 19 now. This could be the way forward for Manchester United to save a fortune in the future. We are going to spend money this summer, and we're probably going to spend it nearly every summer, but it may just become less because we don't have to, because we are generating these players and got these players coming through our academy, and we are going out recruiting the best young talent around. So it's going to be really interesting to see what develops regarding some of these young players this summer, because it does look like we are going to bring a few of them in. And Umar Kamara from PSG is pretty much a nailed-on one now. So we are going to be seeing more talent come in the teenage department at Manchester United's academy. But maybe there is an opportunity we will be seeing some of these players come through into the first team as well. Exciting to see the players that were on the bench last night looking in. I mean, if you're an academy player sat on that bench last night looking in at Manchester United, you're thinking, I've got a chance here. I have definitely got a chance here. And I'm excited to see what actually happens going forward. And I know at the game last night is going to take over all the talk and everything going on. Onana, now Ruben Amorim, and what he's saying and what needs to happen. I think right now is what we've been saying through the rest of this show about the decision, especially in the Europa League. The likes of Onana and Rasmus Hojlund have lost their chance. I actually feel like Ahmad coming back is going to give him that extra little bit of incentive to change things up again and mix it up as well. So we've got all of that to look forward to at least. And we're not out of the tie. That's one good thing to take from that last night. Nusa Mazraoui, Lenny Yoro, brilliant performances from them. Bruno again, his assists. Oh my God. Bruno Fernandes has got more goals and assists combined, goal involvements, than any other midfielder in any of the top 5 leagues in Europe. It is absolutely staggering. He has got 18 assists this season now, Bruno Fernandes. He is absolutely frightening. His stats are off the scale good. And no matter which way you look at Bruno Fernandes, whether you want to criticise him for what his game is, we need to move past him. He's not the right man for the future of Manchester United. Whichever way you look at Bruno Fernandes, he is an absolute monster when it comes to moments in games. 16 goals and 18 assists this season for Bruno Fernandes. That is truly amazing. 34 goal involvements. He is a game changer for Manchester United. And without him, we are stuck. We have to move past him, though. I do get that, and I understand that. But whichever way we go into the summer in terms of recruitment, and there is more story backing up what I said about Tyler Diblin yesterday going around this morning as well, which is Manchester United have been told now that 35 million may actually get Tyler Diblin's deal done. He is not signing a new contract at Southampton. Tyler Diblin could be a United player this summer as well. The Cunha talk last night, that had cold water poured on it by Romano as well, in that we were told that Cunha's agents are in England to talk over a possibility of making a move to Manchester United. He's open to the move. Romano's response to that was his agent is always in England and there is no negotiations going on at this stage. United have got an interest in him, but there is nothing concrete. So Romano's killed that one dead. It's hard to know what's actually going on and what's real and what's not right now, because it was Ben Jacobs who brought up the Cunha news. But we're also hearing that there's more stories going on behind the scenes. I do believe that he wants to work with a younger side, and this is how Amorim likes to operate. He wants to mould his players, and if he's got them at the right age with the right characteristics and ability, I think he can get more, and I think he feels he can get more. And looking at the Ineos model, I know it counts for nothing, but their other sporting ventures, they're investing in all of the younger players, all of the younger athletes in every single part of what they do. It's like their cycling team. They're buying up the young prospects, and it's not work for them, not in that department. But for where Manchester United are right now and how far we've fallen, this could be the exact first step we need to go forward. This could be the step that Manchester United need to get back into Europe right now. Honestly, though, to round things off regarding what happened last night, I do really believe that Manchester United now, after watching last night, watching the other games, looking at the other performances, United have got a chance of winning this Europa League. A big chance. We should be favourites. We should be favourites. 100% for this competition now. And United, realistically, can be in the Champions League next season. Let's get a few more comments in as well. Give you your chance now. So let's get into it, please. Everybody, get your comments in. Ryan says, if there are no better attackers than Rasmus, what's that? In the under 21s and 18s, Morehouse, Fletcher, Bankeri, Chido, I don't think he's willing to risk them just yet at this stage of the season. Onana is an embarrassment to United. Rasmus is useless and Garnacho is not it. All need to go, says Brett. Steven says, problem with dropping him is if his confidence goes more, how the heck does anyone buy him after a tricky situation? You've got to balance what's working right now for you and what you want to do in the summer. Is the season more important than the summer? Yes, of course it is. You can't ignore what's happening now because United have got a real chance of being in the Champions League. I would be starting Xerxes and Baynder in the Europa League games and give Rasmus and Onana their time in the Premier League. Really, honestly, right now, I think eggs firmly in the Europa League basket. Last night proved it, that United should be favourites and should be winning this. Great, I know that's you acting as Onana in the chat there, buddy. Calm down. Dafif says, United always plays badly at United at Old Trafford. I hope they will turn up and perform against Lyon next week. Well, not really, mate. In Europe, we've been pretty decent. We've won all of our last, 4 games in Europe? 5 games, actually, in the Europa League in Europe. So we can't really say that we are that bad. In fact, I think it's actually, what is it? So, yeah, the last 5 games in the Europa League at Old Trafford, we've won, mate. So I'm confident that we will get the win and we will go through. It would have been so nice to have a lead to go through, though, wouldn't it? It really would. Manny with a super chat. I hope you've collected your thoughts and calmed after the game, mate. I feel there'll be a circus until July. I think a Trincao will arrive under the radar, but we need Cunha. I have calmed down a little bit, but still raging about last night and the missed opportunity because of Andre Onana, mate. I really am. It has absolutely boiled me. It really did. I actually feel sorry for Amorim. He didn't stand a chance. And the moment he made the decision not to let Nacho leave in January has effectively finished. Effectively finished. The formation now is just makeshift. To be honest, though, mate, we couldn't replace Garnacho with anybody. There was no one there to bring in, which is the reason why we didn't sell Garnacho in January. We didn't have the option. That's the problem with Garnacho. And I get what you're saying, yes. If we could have got Osimhen in the other way, or a player in the other way, then that decision would have looked right. But I do believe that Garnacho's career is under threat at United. I think he could be sold in the summer, definitely. And Mainu came on last night and I thought was good. It looks like Mainu's filled out as well, doesn't it? A lot of people were saying that last night. Great involvement in the goal as well. Determination from Kobe. I really like the way that he came on and attacked that game last night, Kobe Mainu. Good signs that he is willing to actually get on that pitch and take his chance. And at the end of the day now, I think I would drop Garnacho and put Mainu in against Newcastle. Get his fitness back up. Give him an hour, bring him off, bring Garnacho on as a sub, and get Mainu starting in the game against Lyon next week. Use Newcastle to fine-tune a few fitness problems or get people minutes. I think Mainu and Mount against Newcastle, start the game, play 60 minutes with Xerxes in front of them, maybe. Bring them all off after an hour and change it up. Bring on the likes of Rasmus Hojlund, Garnacho, and play that. Maybe even give some of the kids a chance against Newcastle to see as well. It's sad for me that I'm saying this, and I've said this before, and it sounds contradictory from my part that we shouldn't give up on the Premier League and every position counts. But honestly, right now, last night has changed my mind from what I've seen. I really did see a lot of teams buckling under the pressure last night in them quarterfinals. And I think United have got the best squad to cope with it. The fact that Ahmad is coming back as well. Mount's fitness is getting better and he's getting more minutes. Mainu's back. Casemiro is playing better. Bruno is on fire. They got the defence. Honestly, really confident with the defence. You put Bayender in goal and put Xerxes up front in that team last night, and United are a different animal. I'd even have Kobe Mainu on the pitch instead of Garnacho. But the thing with Garnacho, he does have something that not many of our other players have got. He's got that dribble in him and he wins that free kick and he has got something there. And he's a bit quicker than the likes of Mount and Mainu, I think. But I personally feel that you're still going to get the same energy and drive from the likes of Mount and Mainu. Yes, so that would be my team. I would have Xerxes up front, I'd have Mainu and Mount in the 10s. We'll talk about that a little bit more probably tomorrow because we haven't got much time. Friday today, weekend is here. Newcastle on Sunday. Quick turnaround for United. Still not won yet since coming back off international break. But that is our show this morning, everybody. Thank you so much for your contributions. Again, absolutely immense. All of your comments, all of the new subscribers, welcome to Forever United TV. Go check out my thoughts on the game yesterday. That was my initial rant last night. That is up there on the channel as well. Get your comments in on this one as well. It's now on Amorim to make the call on Onana. He has shown everybody what he is. There's only one man that can change this. Manny with another super chat right at the end there. Thank you, mate. Doesn't Heaton have England caps? Put that lad in. I would play anyone ahead of Onana right now. He's the worst goalkeeper in the Premier League. And that statement. Give the video a like on the way out. That should take us over 300 live likes. Thank you, everybody. Absolutely brilliant show to kickstart the weekend. I will be back later on. Of course, if anything does break, I will be back in between as well, around about lunchtime, if there is anything that comes about. We have got Ruben's press conference as well, so there may be something on that later on, also heading into the Newcastle game. But for now, that's it, everybody. Thank you so much. Mods and members, legends, thank you for helping out. Great job, Mods, in there again this morning. I'll see you all later on, everybody.